Hello guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I know it's been a while since I put out a reading. There's been so much going on, you guys. So I want to just do a collective message. I think I'm just going to do a collective message. I tried starting on the signs last night. There's just, there's a lot going on, and it's affecting us. Even if we have a pretty clear idea or standing of where we stand and what we, how we know ourselves and know our connection to the divine or God, however you want to word it. There's a lot that's confusing right now. There's a lot that's misleading right now. There's a lot that's behind the scenes going on right now. So I just wanted to get us a couple messages from Spirit to see what kind of guidance we can get today. So let's start with the prayer. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance, protection, and unconditional love. I'm grateful for all known and unknown, seen and unseen divine energy, guiding, allowing, and protecting us as we receive these messages with an open heart and mind. I pray these messages will reach those who will fully embrace and express their own divine energy for the highest and most loving good. As we walk on this path of healing, love, and redemption, may your healing light touch, taint, and transmute all darkness with understanding, acceptance, and faith in the holy light of love. Amen. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with a little sultry card and see what comes out. Yeah, so if you're feeling this, you know what I'm talking about. Illumine. Enlighten, cast light upon, clarity make visible. So a lot of things being made visible to us right now. It doesn't really, it feels like there's a lot of stuff not visible right now, but maybe this is saying, hey, this is all part of the process of revealing or exposing what is there. So whatever energy you're in right now, just know that it's happening to help enlighten us, to help us see clearly, to help us be able to, and also if you're part of the active energy casting light on things or bringing attention to things, that's also an energy that's profound right now. Enlighten and cast light upon, clarity and make it visible. So that's nice. Let's put that there. All right, let's go ahead and get another. Let's get one of these gratitude oracles. Patience. So yes, it's not on our timing. Something being illuminated here. A lot of things being able to be seen or seen. You know, this did kind of come in as I was doing the message that I did not post last night because I was riled, and part of it was like just I was upset and ranting anyway. So you know, I'm human, you guys, and things upset me, and things that I've seen and are experiencing can be upsetting. But one of the main things in that is, you know, kind of sitting back and waiting for it to come to you and not seeking so much as waiting for it to be put right in front of you. And a lot of the times all the time, really, the things that we seek are right with us, right with our connection to our guides, our angels, God, the divine, however you want to word that, you guys. But there is something here we're patiently letting unfold and waiting for. To be seen clearer. You know, sometimes we don't see when we're in something the fruits of it until later, or we don't see we don't understand why something's going on in our lives until 5 years later, 10 years later. Sometimes it's only a day or two, but a lot of times our time feels very restrictive. But in in the realm of no time. It's not that long, you know. It's there's something here waiting to be seen, understood, revealed, but there's patience needed, and for some things to be understood here. So if you are feeling, and down the bottom is clues. Interesting. I am going to read. Those. So let's look. We got patience and clues and illuminate. So there is stuff here. Or illumine, enlighten, cast light upon, clarify, make visible. Where things may look a little dark. We did just have a full moon, or another full moon at the end of the, or excuse me, new moon. At the end of the month. It might be another full moon. I'm trying to think. I want to say it's a full moon in Cancer. At least where I'm at. Okay, so let's look at this. Patience. You know, we could all be waiting to see some things more clearly, understand some things more clearly. We got 22 and 38. There is an adage that states that good will come to those who patiently wait. Having patience means calmly waiting, even when you are frustrated, or life is not flowing in the manner you hoped or expected. Each day presents ample opportunities to call on your abilities to be patient. At work, during your commute, while running errands, or communicating with others. I have been feeling this. The communicating with others is getting more difficult by the day. Sometimes you're like, well, why can't we understand each other? Why it almost sometimes feels like you're speaking a different language. When you are facing hardships, it can be a challenge not to default to despair or frustration. When you work on your patience, you will find you are less apt to become depressed and will lapse into negativity. Your lapse into negativity is less frequent. People who are patient do not typically become upset or stressed over situations where they have no control. Being patient will help you become mindful, more connected to others, and more abundant. Patience will help you feel more gratitude too. Be willing to walk with patience while traveling towards your goals. Remember to have patience with people who challenge or trigger you. Oh, this is a very good message. Like I said, like last night, I mean, I have been paying attention for years. I didn't pay attention to the news, politics, and you know, we got to be careful where our energy is getting swept, but it's very important to still pay attention, but be patient with people. We're human, and just be patient with the process. There's a process happening, a growth happening, an evolution happening, and there's growing pains to get there. So that is something I, you know, in my human brain, you know, my spirit knows, my soul knows, God knows, but in our human minds, it just doesn't feel good. Okay, there's a lot happening that just doesn't feel good, and you wonder if it can ever be experienced differently or seen differently, or if there'll be people that wake up to what's you know, what's right in front of them. So it's very interesting. So this is really speaking to me, because it's easy to get challenged or triggered or frustrated, and impatient with people, and they're like, whatever it is, you know, whatever it is. It says your patience will make the passage more tolerable and pave the way for more satisfaction and appreciation. A lone woman dressed in a... Okay, I'm not going to read the definition of the card, like the picture. I'll just show it to you again. Patience needed right now, you guys. Patience. Patience with the process, and patience with people, and patience with situations. Now let's look at this clues, which was on the bottom. So there is some clues here. Whenever it's on the bottom, to me, that's telling me this is kind of an undertone, kind of. That means there's something going on underneath these, this message, and that we will find some clues here. And also, I have been getting, like I said, like whatever we're seeking or looking for or hoping for, wanting to be seen, maybe we want others to see something. You know, it's out of our control. We have to let go and let God. And sometimes that's really, we want to do our part and just step up to the plate and do do what you're divinely guided to do. But make sure it's in alignment with your heart and your soul. Life, it says, every day you are given signs and clues. This has been a real message about these synchronicities and signs and clues. Pay attention to the things around you. Pay attention to the time on the clock. I do this a lot. I'll look at, it was 12:24 there, so I'll write that down real quick, because especially when I'm talking about it. But look up your angel numbers, look up Bible verses, flip to that page in one of your favorite quote books or whatever. Just for instance, I'm just gonna show you a little example of kind of what so it was 12:24. So we're gonna just go ahead and we'll go to page 12. And the first thing that pops out on this page, this is a dictionary of quotations, just to give you a little example that you can do this with just about anything. I feel like our angels and the divine work through everything that comes in front of us, whether that's a card, a book, a person, a message, a bird. I mean, this is very ancient stuff, you guys, paying attention to our surroundings, our environment, and seeing what's there for us to learn from and gather from. So the top thing is alienation. Interesting. So it gives quotes about alienation on page 12 of this. Or no, that's just what I opened up to. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, 12. Well, okay, still, this is kind of interesting, because on page 12, it's America and Americas. So these are going to be quotes about America and Americas, and that's interesting, because a lot of the energy we're dealing with right now there's a lot of, I've tried to stay away from politics, but I live in America, you live in America, or you live somewhere else and you're watching and you're going, wow, this is a show. There is a lot of stuff going on, and all over. There's stuff going on in Ireland right now, protests. There's we got Israel, and I can't, because I went down the rabbit hole and looked at, and I'm a firm, I stand up and speak when I find that countries or people have been oppressed and abused for centuries. Sometimes they will retaliate. That's very natural for humankind to do that. Retaliate or try to find a way out of the oppressor or abuser's clutches, and then they end up getting called the bad guys. It's very like gaslighty, and it's very like crazy some of the way that this happens with humans, and I really want people to pay attention to that and go into the roots of it, so that you can see where the real conflict started. And where it began was because somebody was trying to control or steal or take from another what wasn't theirs in the first place, like maybe their beliefs, maybe their land, whatever it is. Be mindful, you guys, right now at the root of the thing. So some of the quotes on this are, God bless the USA, so large, so friendly, and so rich. W.H. Auden, On the Circuit, 1941. That's a quote there. Another one here is, westward the course of empire takes its way. The 4 first acts already past. A 5th shall close the drama with the day. Time's noblest offspring is the last. George Berkeley, on the prospect of planting arts and learning in America. They knew they were pilgrims is another quote by William Bradford. History of the Plymouth Plantation, written 1630 to 51. They knew they were pilgrims. Here's another one. The chief business of the American people is business. America is a country of young men. Old age in society and solitude, 1870. A lot of really old, it's just interesting how they used to always talk about, the country was men's, and, as a woman who has been, our sex, our genders, their oppression, abuse of power, abuse of, it's just been crazy, and it really can trigger you or upset you when you're like, where were the women in this? But at the same time, this was the times they lived in, and America is a country of young men, and I'm going to say, and young women. Ralph Waldo Emerson. I love Ralph Waldo Emerson. There's a lot of good writing, but it says there is no second acts in America. American lives It's from F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Last Tycoon, Notes, 1941. The novel was published a year after the author's death. So, and then I'll read this last one. The American System of Rugged Individualism. Herbert Hoover, speech, October 22nd, 1928. Oh, this is, I got to continue to read this because I'm seeing something about, it says, if there is any fixed star in our constitutional constellation, it is that no official, high or petty, can prescribe what shall be orthodox in politics, nationalism, religion, or other matters of opinion, or force citizens to confess by word or act their faith therein. Robert H. Jackson, Supreme Court, ruling in West Virginia Department of Education versus Barnett, 1943. The court misspelled the name of the plaintiff, Walter Barnett. Ooh, the spirit of this country is totally adverse to a large military force. I am willing to love all mankind except an American. Samuel Johnson in James Boswell, Life of Johnson. I am willing to love all mankind except an American, because that separates. So I do get there's that separation right now of American versus humanity. Humans, I am willing to love all mankind except an American. Very interesting, you guys. So let's go ahead and go to page 24 and just see what it says. I have a lot of faith and trust in my guides, and when I am nudged or urged to look up something, or I notice a number, or I notice an animal or something, I know there's a message there for me. And I think us being such 3D or material world, like earthy creatures, the divine does know how to speak to us and knows what we're most looking at. And we look at numbers a lot, we look at words a lot, we look at the trees, the animals, the birds, the bees. Why? To communicate and see the signs and the messages in our reality, there would be good divine ways of getting those messages to us to understand, and that would be through our environment or through the things we look at the most, like your watch. You know, most people, I don't have a watch anymore, but you look at the time, you always pay attention to time. Like, people are so time, because we're mortal, because we're on a clock, we're on a ticking time, so we're always looking at the time, and it's very important to us. And I believe the angels know that and know what we're going to be looking at, and that's why there has been these messages given to us through like angel numbers, and I believe everything's numbered, you know. So it's pretty important, because people pretty much have built this country on numbers. Everything is arithmetic or geometry, or, you know, there's numbers in everything that's built. So it's, why wouldn't it be a way of getting our attention or communicating with us, something that maybe consciously we can't wrap our head around. I'm going to go to 24 and let's see what it is. Interesting. So it's anger. Interesting. Okay, so I did not make that up. I had looked up, this is what I mean, you guys. So during the time I was talking about paying attention to our signs and synchronicities in our environment, I noticed the clock on the film here that said 12:24. So I was 12 minutes and 24 seconds in. Now, if I speed up this video, it might not fall on that number, but I'll be looking that number up too. Believe me, I will. But right now, it's very befitting because I'm just filming this. So, and we got America, what was it? American and Americas. America and Americans. And now we got, and you can't make this up, this is a message, anger. Wow. And it's very kind of a short, so it starts at the bottom of page 23 and it moves into page 24, and then the very next one is animals. So the anger says, the tigers of wrath are wiser than the horses of instruction. William Blake, The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, 1790 to 93. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not. My wrath did grow. A Poison Tree and Songs of Experience, 1794, William Blake. It is good to, that's interesting. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. So speaking the things that you are upset about, or are frustrating you, or are angering you, is important. But the way we hold it in, or the way we express our frustration, we need to keep in mind that the tigers of wrath, it's interesting, the tigers of wrath are wiser than the horses of instruction. And then we got, anger makes dull men witty, but it keeps them poor. Elizabeth I, quoted in Francis Bacon, a Apothegms 16:24. Anger is a brief madness. Yeah, brief madness. Horace, Epistles, Book 1, 20 BC. When angry, count 4. When very angry, swear. Mark Twain. Pud's Head, Wilson Calendar, in Pudhead's Wilson, 1894. Anger supplies arms. Virgil. Aeneid, c. 19 BC. Whoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Whosoever shall say, the fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Bible, Matthew 5:22. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Keep your light. Keep your connection to the end, the process and the end goal and divine will, not just your will or your human anger. Envy and wrath shorten the life. The Bible, I can never say this, Ecclesiastes 30:24. Interesting. Speak when you are angry, and you will make the best speech you will ever regret. Ambrose Bierce, The Devil's Dictionary, 1906. So that's just a little example, you guys, of what I'm talking about. Just you can I a lot of times will just Google like Bible verse 12:24 or whatever. Actually, I'm going to do that real quick. Hold on. All right, guys. Thanks for holding on there a second. So I just wanted to look, and the thing, there was many. There was John, Mark, Hebrews, Proverbs, and Luke. The one that kind of stood out to me at this moment was Luke 12:24, and it says, "Consider the ravens; they have no storeroom or barn, yet God feeds them, and how much more valuable you are than birds." So having trust and faith in God that He takes care of His children, and you are His children. We are creatures of nature and made by the Most High, created. So it is important to remember some of these little things, you guys. You know, I didn't want to. Hold on. So we read I'm going to put this back up. So just keep in mind, there's always signs and synchronicities around you, and pay attention to those signs and synchronicity and feel what they feel. And by that I mean hear what they have to say to you. When you hear a message, it will be more of a feeling. It may come through in a feeling or a knowing, but it's just coming through in I believe light or vibration or something we can't consciously wrap our head around at the time. So we have material stuff, and we have this stuff to pay attention to that kind of can reflect what's actually going on that we can't see. You can see it in music, you can see it in literature, you can see it in art, you can see it in our films, you can see it in the politics. You can see what's going on by looking at the physical. The physical is a physical manifestation of the energies that exist. We may not care for all those energies, and we may be trying to work with energies that we may not agree with, but it is energy that exists, and it's energy that needs acknowledged. And I feel like the more you acknowledge those things around you and show some kind of reverence or respect or space for the things you see in front of you, the more connected you become to God, which I believe is everything, and everything connects everything. You know, God is a connection to everything. So yeah, don't let people's judgments right now, or narrow minds, or one path seeing, one sight seeing, human eye only, influence or deter you from what you are getting from your angels or guides, or messages that you're receiving. It's very important right now, because I feel like a lot of people get bullied or get pushed or get challenged or triggered when they're when they not only speak about their experiences, but also it can make you yourself feel like, should I talk about this, or is this, there's a real feeling right now with that Neptune energy and in Saturn in Aries of really paying attention to your own individuality, and also the way we express that. And I don't mean our egos or what we want people to understand about us, but truly expressing this fire or this spirit through some kind of activity or talking, and sometimes if you're feeling confused, that could be very Neptunian. You can feel like I'm just going to sit and just, journal or something just to get it out. But yeah, right now it's very complicated energies. So that being said, let's go ahead and get this is the Healing Spirits Oracle. And we got Share the Gift. And that's interesting because the thing that had upset me was, and it says heal yourself to heal the world. And I truly am a believer that, we are given gifts that we may not feel worthy of. And the most precious gift of that is life and presence and being here. But also, beyond that, not only do we get to live here, but we also get to have a connection with something greater than ourselves that has a purpose or a plan. It's never faded. You're not, there's just a calling within us that says, hey, this is what feels right. This is where you vibrate with your divine energy. So, and everybody has a different channel or a different divine energy that they're bringing to the collective. We may not always understand everybody's purposes or places. It's not for us to understand. But as long as you're feeling it in your soul and your heart, I believe you are in alignment with your gifts, the gifts that you have. This it was in my feed, and it was a really, really, I'm going to say, just very Old Testament judgmental priest or Christian preacher. I have nothing against Christianity. I've said it before many times on this channel, you guys. I love Jesus. But I do know that people have existed before Jesus. I believe we needed a, so to say, a resurrection of sorts with our souls and our hearts. Those were dark times, and the messenger, the light and the love that the message of Jesus brought was very much so needed. And I think the more you do listen to Jesus's message, maybe not necessarily Old Testament stuff. This isn't Old Testament stuff. That's and it's all human wrote. So we got to keep that in mind too. Just as every one of these books or this art or this music or this film, it's all people. People are interpreting and writing things, and it's what helps you. Okay, so or could it make your world smaller? Could it make your world bigger? Does it help you grow, or does it stagnate you and keep you stuck in the same old energy that's not helping to evolve you, not helping to grow you? So share your gifts, whether that's speaking, art, helping people, talking to people about their feelings, maybe whatever it is, share your gifts right now. It's very important that we share ourselves with each other. I've said this, it's been a lot this last year, but it's very important that we share our stories with each other. Life is a gift, and everything we experience in this life is a gift. We may not see it in the moment, but it is revealed to us. So we may not always understand, but I think it's very important that we do take that time to share ourselves. You may be experiencing a lot of people sharing themselves right now, and you're like, and that's why I said just be mindful of the energy that you're taking in from people around you, from in your environment, and what are they sharing? Is it a gift or is it a curse? So I really do want to emphasize that, because that does go with the kind of triggered energy I had gotten last night. And I'm human, I get triggered, guys. So, I have to gather myself and align myself, and, I'm human. So, doing what I can here. All right, let's get an animal spirit card. Oh, interesting. Yes, and yeah, this is believe in yourself, squirrel spirit. Do not doubt yourself right now, and do not doubt the work that's being done through you, within you, for you. Believe in yourself right now. No matter what, there's always people that are gonna say, you're wrong, or you're whatever. It's crazy times right now. The most important thing is you believe in yourself. Other people don't have to believe in you. Believe in yourself and believe in your gifts and believe in the impact you have on those around you, and believe that this kind of patience and this kind of working with what is available for you to receive and you to learn from will illuminate something. It will grow you in some way. Just maybe not our time. So it might not be yesterday. You know, that's the message there. So I'm going to read that animal, the squirrel spirit. Believe in yourself. Believe in your gifts also at this time. Somebody says, you know, you have to believe and have faith in where you're guided and what you know to be true about yourself and your connections to this world, to God. It's all very important right now. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Seems crazy to me, right? Of course, that's just my side, so who's to say, right? But it says, Oracle message. You have accumulated wisdom and experience and are surrounded by all you need. An abundance of resources is available to you through the generosity of spirit and all your hard work. Squirrel spirit shows up when you need reminding that the acorns you have gathered and stowed away have enormous potential to grow. So relax into knowing there is always enough and you have what it takes to co-create the reality you want to experience. Through diligent preparation, you have gained wisdom and strength. How much potential you have. Believe in yourself, for spirit believes in you and wants you to know you have enough and are enough. Doesn't that truth make you feel safe and secure? It should, for you have everything you need right now. The protection message. The unpredictability of life can shake your confidence in yourself and your potential for handling the challenges that come your way. Does the thought of not having enough or being enough make you squirrely? Have you forgotten all your strengths, wisdom, and resources? You have come so far on your wits and creativity, making use of all of your potential and all that spirit presents you to help you through life's trying times. It's time to look back on your life and remember how your needs have always been met for the highest good. Even in your most challenging times, life loves you, and so many treasures are hidden in plain sight. This is the message I've been getting. It's right there. It's right here. It's right here in our connections. Wow. The treasures that are hidden in plain sight are ready to be revealed when you most need them. So let's just be very patient with this process. It says, so relax. Squirrel Spirit wants you to know you are poised and ready for whatever is coming next. So trust in yourself and trust that Spirit has your back. I love that message, you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a Shaman's Oracle. Oh, in the hand. This is a very good message, you guys. Oh my goodness. In the hand. The universe is your partner. This message is really about being connected to God's source and embracing this process and the gifts that you do have and working with divine will and, you know, because our spirits are here to serve the divine. You don't have to, but you'll feel, I believe, much better when you're in service to that part of you that keeps is always there, and even in your darkest times, even when you're trying to run from it or ignore it, it's there. And it is, we want to be connected to what we are, and we are a part of this bigger source, this bigger power, and we want to be in co-creation with that energy, because that is what this energy is. That's what's driving us. So I love that. I'm going to read this. This really is a nice message, you guys. So I am, let's see here. Here we go. Shaman's Dream 31. The universe is your partner. In the hand. Feeling secure, taken care of, the universe is your partner. Something amazing happens when you contemplate your intimate relationship with your higher power. How do you engage it? Perhaps you might have seen things through the influence of your religious background, or you may have been exposed to other ways of making that connection real for you. It doesn't matter the source of your understanding. What matters is what works for you. I love this because this also was part of the message that's actually been coming in for a couple days now, but like I said, I was triggered and thrown back and really kind of repulsed by this guy. Not him, but his message or his energy. I can't put my finger on it, but it wasn't loving and it wasn't kind and it wasn't what I look at as healing energy. And there's a lot of that right now, this divisive division energy that's just feels really toxic. So I love this because it's saying, no matter what, your relationship with your higher power, however you know your higher power, it doesn't matter what the source of your understanding is. What matters is what works for you. What works for you. For example, if you believe in a punitive God, you will be afraid of punishment for your transgressions. If you believe in a version of a higher power that blesses you, you may find it easier to surrender to a relationship with radical trust. Yeah, there's a lot of fear embedded in a lot of parts of, especially the Old Testament. I think that's why I love New Testament, why I do engage with the New Testament energy. Plus, that's evolution. We're talking about humans evolving. We're talking about growth. We're talking about things have changed. We're talking about people have grown. And I truly believe a lot of, especially the Old Testament, was very law written. So it was a lot about law, not so much about God, but power and control. Even though God works through all of us it's all planned. So that had to be in order for the new to be, right? The old had to exist in order for new to exist. The old ways had to exist in order to see our way into new ways and understand what doesn't work about old ways or what does. So that is all part of the bigger plan that we may not always understand, but it says, right now, if you imagine relaxing, curled up in the hands of the divine, how does that make you feel? Relief, calm, loved, supported. There's a lot of feelings that could come with just that being hugged by the divine. Can you then turn over your needs and desires to the divine power and trust that you're safe and secure and don't have to do anything at all to feel that way? Grace is activated in your life now. You're in good hands. Your work, family, relationships, home, everything. You've done all you can. So now is the time to rest and recharge instead of producing, doing, acting, strategizing. A hot tea, a good book, and a soft blanket are in order. I do love that because that goes a lot with the messages I've been getting. This feeling of being out of control or not being able to see something or know something. It is out of our hands right now. But just know, if you're listening to this message and you're resonating with it, you are in God's hands. You are taken care of, and trust that things will be revealed in God's time, not ours. And just take that time to be cozy and to have that tea or put on that nice lotion or take care of yourself right now. There's a lot of energy, you guys, and it's just a lot. So I want to get a Into the Lonely Woods card here. Yeah, I do want to get to the signs too, guys, but like I said, it was just not the best vibes. Oh, the consolations of isolation and realizations at the bottom. The consolations of isolation. I'll show you this card. That's interesting because these birds bringing a message. It's right in front of him. There's a message right in front of him. All right. Sometimes we just get distracted by the busyness and the chaos and the conflict around us, and we don't take this time to keep our connection strong with our higher power, the highest power. We need to remember this. It's very important right now. Seclusion can feed the spirit, and with that nourishment comes rebirth. So many people and beings taking themselves away from society and people, from the chatter and the gatherings and the beautiful noise that is our collective. The sense of being separate for a time is nothing to fear. For you are separate, you are unique. You are experiencing the multiplicity through the oneness of your being. Being alone can heal us and bring us back from the dark place that is loneliness. A state we can experience even when amongst others. The comforting, healing qualities of solitude are yours. And these arrive spontaneously, unscheduled, and without artifice. Your spirit desires you to breathe light right through your entire being until you shine with the radiance that is your soul. Love that. Love that. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and get a chakra card for us here. This really is a message of patience and connection. Physical health, vitality, strength, body image, and balance. So it's the root chakra, and it's what's on the bottom here? Insight, understanding, awakening, awareness, and self-evaluation. Let's read this root chakra real quick. Physical health. Now this is a very fiery, it feels very fiery, physical health. Also we got Aries with that Neptune and that Saturn. This could be regarding some of you that are having transits through your 6th house and your 1st house of vitality, strength, body image, balance. So it's number 5. Amidst the rapid pace, pressures, and diverse responsibilities of modern life, it can be very easy to lose touch with the needs of our physical body. This has been a message also coming back to the body, taking that time to taste the tea and calm and kind of feel how our environment is affecting us and our connection. So kind of paying very much attention to our system, okay? The whole system there's messages in our system, there's messages around us that interact with our own function and system and what we're here to do or here to express, and we need to pay attention to how our environment is either hindering or helping to stagnate us or grow us. It's a very important message right now. It always is, but it's especially right now because there's so much it's not trying, it just can be very influential, it can be very sidetracking, it can be very distractive, and it can be very chaotic and confusing. So, trust your knowing about your bodily reactions, your gifts. Trust that in divine timing, things are going to calm, things are going to be seen more clearly for you if you don't understand kind of what's going on right now. Just take care of yourself and be in touch with God, divine, and your body, the physical, and how that physical is connecting or reacting or interpreting or interacting with what's going on around us. It's good to recognize when we're getting triggered or when we're really upset and why is it upsetting us, and get into the roots of those things, you guys. So it says, while many of our modern life circumstances and even some of our spiritual paths call for the denial of the physical, this card is calling us to reconnect and honor our physical needs. Our physical body is our temple, our chariot, our sacred vessel in this life. While our mind may be a great architect of visionary possibility, and our heart may have the power to bring great passions to life, our physical body is the medium through which inspiration is brought into form. Spirit and inspiration is brought into form. And so we must care for it as though it were the most honored guest in our home. This card is an invitation to reconnect with the wisdom of your body, reclaim a sense of balance between work, rest, and play, integrate your need for some quiet time and solitude with activities and social connection. It's time to balance the scales. Bring your love and awareness to your body. Learn to accept your body just as it is, for its unique shape, colors, textures. Look upon your body with compassion and be grateful that you have this living vessel. Be grateful for the simplest action, like your heart beating and keeping you alive. Thank your feet for their steadfast efforts to carry you through your day. Honor the physical needs of nourishing yourself with food, clean water, deep breath, sunshine, laughter, love, and connection. Spend time in nature, exercise in ways that make you feel alive, treat yourself to a massage or a special nurturing meal. Don't just survive, live with vitality and drive. Let your physical health radiate and shine. When we are healthy, everything in life seems to fall into place naturally. The rhythm of our body align themselves with the cycles of the natural world. We become in sync with our true nature. By honoring your physical body, you become a clear vessel for inspiration to move through you, eliminating each step on your path. I do love that. I have been getting that message of, and it's part of staying in strong connection with your higher power, a clear, clean connection. So, and I think I said at the beginning of this video, like, it may be easy to want to go avoid or distract yourself. Maybe drink, addictions can be really profound. Escapism can be very profound during these kind of transits. If you've been with my channel, you know I've been through addiction, and when I was saved and awakened and all that, however you want to word this, revived, however you want to word it or look at it, I knew that my body wasn't and isn't mine to, I knew I was here for something bigger than myself. And it's not mine to take, and it's not mine to destroy. I can, because I got free will, and I still am. I drink my coffee in the morning. I still vape. I gave up everything else. But yeah, I don't even eat. I don't know why, but I don't eat pork and beef anymore because of the consciousness level. I believe it is. It's something that was about the mammals. So I don't know. I've been through a lot of shifts and changes in my body since all of this has come about, and it's been really sometimes confusing, sometimes frustrating. I still look at a cheeseburger and I'm like, but I just was guided to. It wasn't for me. It's not what my personal vessel needs for it. Some people might need that, but I don't know. It's just, there's been a lot of shifts and changes. Pay attention to the way your body's reacting to things also, and the way your mind is reacting to what you're putting in your body. That was another thing. I don't carry around the guilt or shame that I deeply always kind of have. I grew up around farm animals, and I used to always I just love animals, but at the same time I'm like, I'm eating them. I still eat chicken and turkey, fish, but that's it for, but it's just, listen to the way you're feeling about things that you're doing for yourself, for your body, or to yourself or to your body, or what others, the environment, how it's affecting your body. You can feel the changes. You can feel, and if you have that silent time, you have that isolative time, or you can get the consolation and the confirmations that you need in that quiet time, you'll get your messages and you'll get your guidance, and then just trust yourself and trust the process. That's really important right now, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get a spiral oracle. $31, $38. And what do we got? Compassion. I do love this. Compassion. Oh, I love it. We do need a lot of compassion right now, you guys, because there is a lot. The more, the better right now, you guys. Second. Okay, so this goes right along with our message. Compassion. Difficult encounters and experiences have opened my eyes to my own feelings, to my truth. I perceive the beings and situations that made my life an uphill struggle as valuable teachings on my path. Perception, you guys. Experiences that at first sight appeared to be the opposite of love have taught me to see the offering that life makes to me moment to moment. Today I receive this gift, a learning about a deep and unconditional love that dwells within me. I recognize in myself a great force that compels me to alleviate the pain in other beings, a love manifesting itself in one of its purest forms. The higher passion, the love called compassion. Now, what if compassion does not include me? If the compassion is not with me as well? It is not complete. For what is the point of comforting other beings if I treat myself harshly? My growth is not born out of demand, guilt, or a cold attitude towards my problems. My growth is born when I open myself to love. When from the depths of my being, softness and compassion emanate. Compassion for myself and compassion for others. Self-care is the key phrase for this card. And it says everything matures in its own time and without force. That goes with this patience. If you're going through a growth process, a learning process, a self-acceptance process right now, and having to stand in your own and trust yourself against everything that doesn't have compassion or doesn't have understanding, stand your ground with you deserve the maybe not deserve, but you earn and you do. You deserve to have love and compassion. Everything matures in its own time and without force. That was another message, is not to push seeking too much or trying to, something's just going to be right in front of us right now. We can see it as long as we're in touch with our higher nature, higher value. The universe is your partner. It's in your hand. And we got two hands here that are profoundly, and also even the squirrel is kind of holding this acorn. His hand's kind of popping out at me. I'm noticing this hand, and the acorn we know is just a seed, and it takes a long time for the growth of that oak tree. So that's another message. I always deserve. Everything matures in its own time and without force. I do not need to earn anything. We need to, I do believe we do the work, but there's things we just naturally have that we may not acknowledge or see. Our bodies, we were born, this is a gift. We can do what we will with it, but it helps when we're in cooperation, co-partnership with our highest natures, our highest selves. The highest. I always deserve. I also understand that if I need it, I can ask for help. And there is this feeling right now of asking for help, but there's also a really strong message of being very mindful about who you're receiving help from and what are their intentions and what is the energy. Is it stifling? Is it narrow? Or is it growth? Is it expansive? Is it love? Or is it hate? You can definitely feel that, especially if you pull yourself away from the chaos to really get in touch with your heart and your soul. When I am disturbed or distracted too much, my mind is like churning water. If I hate, my mind burns like fire. When my ignorance overshadows the truth, I forget what is important. Only with gratitude, I abandon the things that bind me, the harmful spaces and the habits that do not nourish me. When I abandon these things and practice detachment, I quiet my being and return to the origin. I pay attention to my body, mind, and soul with love and care. Compassion begins with me. The quote for this card is, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy yourself, practice compassion. I do love that. It's a very nice message for this reading. So let's go ahead and get one last card. Oh, yep. Healing light. The White Light Oracle. And we'll probably grab a quote too. I guess I didn't read those quotes earlier, but that was more like an example of like what I mean. And it's crazy that that's kind of the energy I was feeling too when we were talking about it. It was like, oh, there's so much going on. We got Lasya of Parvati. Lasya of Parvati. I love this. Okay. 32. Okay, interesting. There is a gentler way to proceed and obtain the same or even greater effect. Tame the wild and frenzied workings of the mind by grounding yourself with beauty, pleasure, and grace. Violence and its negative effects shall be overcome and healed through feminine gentleness and inner spiritual strength. This oracle is a sign of great future happiness. Parvati is the universal mother in her gentle aspect, although, as with all mothers, her fierce side will emerge if it's needed to protect her children. She is beautiful and benevolent and evokes the qualities of love, connection, creativity, and devotion to a higher purpose. The divine goddess has many names, and Parvati is also known as Jagatambe, the mother of the universe. Her son is Ganesha. The elephant-headed deity fosters success in all new ventures, protection from obstacles, and is of particular benefit to those who feel drawn to write. Parvati is the mother to all, and her presence in a reading augurs success on every level. With Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, love, and spiritual enlightenment, Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom, music, creativity. Parvati is Tridevi, the sacred triune of feminine nature, or triple goddess of Hinduism. Parvati is the divine archetype of the vital, competent, creative, and loving woman. When her oracle appears, there is an opportunity to heal one's mother wounds and one's relationship with the feminine more generally. She helps heal wounded hearts and teaches us how to belong to ourselves just as we are, rather than abandoning ourselves to please others. As Tridevi, when you connect with Parvati, you also connect with Lakshmi and Saraswati, as all three are one. So it's like the triple goddess, mother, maiden, kind of crone energy. It's interesting. So this oracle also brings comfort for matters to do with material prosperity, love, relationships, expressing your voice, and fulfilling your higher purpose. When Parvati knows that a more dramatic intervention is the only way to conquer a particular evil in our lives, she will manifest as a ferocious goddess Kali. One story holds that Kali was so intent on destruction that the fate of the world hung in the balance, so her husband Shiva appeared before her as a crying baby, which instantly evoked her maternal instincts and calmed her back into a state of Parvati. We can trust that the Divine Mother loves us and responds to what is needed, but also knows how to get things done without being more heavy-handed than necessary. She's genuinely moved by our suffering and will manifest in whatever forms are needed to heal. This oracle asks you to evoke on her and trust what transpires is for your healing and spiritual fulfillment. Give up the notion that the deepest issues require the most difficult path to heal. Let her Laisha dance of happiness and grace unveil a gentler and more loving way. I love that. So definitely feeling a need to balance and calm and be graceful. Yes, meditate, being in touch with your body. Pleasure and grace. There's a gentler way to proceed and obtain the same or even greater effect. Tame the wild and frenzied workings of the mind by grounding yourself with beauty, pleasure, and grace. Violence and its negative effects shall be overcome and healed through feminine gentleness and inner spiritual strength. This oracle is a sign of great future happiness. So, of course, that's a really nice message. Let's go ahead and just grab a little quote here. These are just some quotes that I had jotted down years ago on these little cards, but I just like to see what comes out. Where am I going? What do I see? Is my imagination getting the most out of me? Do I engage with what I see, or do I walk away and let it be? Do I embrace mine or others' reality? I actually wrote that myself. So I did throw in a couple of my little poems in here and a couple of my own little quotes. I like to write little poetry, and I've always wrote poetry. But yeah, where am I going? What do I see? Is my imagination getting the most out of me? Do I engage with what I see, or do I walk away and let it be? Do I embrace mine or others' reality? That goes perfectly with our reading, you guys. I hope this helped somebody. I hope everybody's taking care of themselves. And as always, I appreciate you guys coming and watching these messages and staying subscribed to my channel. If you are a subscriber, thank you. I appreciate you guys, and keep all of this in mind as we're moving through a lot of energies here. I am going to really try to get to the signs. Like I said now, and this has helped me a lot with some of the feelings and energy I was dealing with just yesterday, just last night when I went and did a reading. But I had too much. I'm human, like I said. I had a little. I was upset by some things, and it's been kind of upsetting things happening, and we don't have control over it. We just have to stay secure and safe and sovereign within ourselves and our hearts and our souls and our connection. And know that everything is working out, and things will, we may not always see how or what or why, but we will see that. There will be illumination, there will be clarity, and things will be made more visible. And the more we connect and the more we embrace our reality, our own personal reality, and not let others influence or take us away from our truth, the more secure and stable these kind of transits or transitions can be for us. So I do hope this helps. Thank you again, and as always, I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.